Welcome to the 2024 Bangkok International Motor Show here in the country of Thailand. Today is Media Day, and I'm going to give you an exclusive preview of the show, the cars, motorcycles, boats, and anything else here that has a motor. Let's go see what we got. The show has been expanded to 3 halls, and there's been a 4th hall that's been added, which has hypercars and supercars. There's no way we're going to get through all of this, so I'm just going to focus on what I think are the interesting vehicles and other items that have engines in them. Audi is known for some beautiful sedans and some rather sedate colors on most of their vehicles. They don't typically do anything wild, well, with the exception of this Audi TT. This is a collaboration with an artist, and it's got quite an interesting wrap on it, extremely colorful. Would you drive this on the street? I would take this S3 hatchback in a minute. I love these little understated Audis. They're quite powerful, but a small package. And even in this yellow, it looks pretty good. Now, this car is 3,250,000 Thai baht, which is just a little under $100,000. And don't worry, we are going to go and see all the hypercars, the supercars, and everything else in the Forum 4 hall very soon. This year, as every year prior to it, there are lots of new car manufacturers here. This Zeekr, I'm not sure if this is a Chinese brand or if it's all electric, but the styling on these is quite interesting. As I've mentioned, today is Media Day. The actual show opens on March 27th and runs through April 7th, and the show runs from noon till 10 at night every day of the week. Admission is 100 baht, which is a little under $3 US. I kind of have to try and film in between all the presentations today, and wow, look at this over here. We've got this gorgeous car, and this model is gorgeous as well. This is some kind of a hover car, basically a drone that flies. I don't know if I would want to take a ride in this, and if this is production or not, but we've come quite a long way. With literally hundreds of different cars here at the show, I kind of have to focus on what I like. And the Suzuki Jimny is always one of my favorites. We had these in the US in the 80s as the Suzuki Samurai, but they're still making them and selling them here in Southeast Asia. And there's lots of people that are customizing them, just like this one here, the Jimny shop, where you can see they've definitely modified it with some other body parts and different paint, accessories. And I think these things are really cool. Yes, it's loud and flashy, but if you want to see what a stock one looks like, here we go. This is what a stock Jimny looks like. There are kits out there to make them into baby G-Wagons and all sorts of other conversions. It's a really unique, small, 4-wheel drive vehicle that is perfect for the city as well as the rural parts of Thailand and other Southeast Asian countries. There is, of course, no way that I can talk about Thailand car shows without mentioning the homeland favorite Isuzu. Isuzu D-Max trucks are built here in Thailand, and it's definitely the #1 truck across the country. It's as if when you're born, you're handed the keys to an Isuzu D-Max as well as a Honda Wave. These trucks are ubiquitous throughout the country as work trucks, drag trucks, and anything else in between. Although I'm not a huge electric car fan, I have to mention BYD because they are literally taking the world by storm with their very low prices on their vehicles. They've got things like the Dolphin here, which is only 859,000 Thai baht, which is just about $22,000. But they've also introduced a vehicle called the Seagull, which I believe sells for under $10,000 US, which is about 350,000 Thai baht. Again, there is a plethora of car manufacturers that I've never heard of. For instance, Avatar here. Hello, ladies. And these are cars, obviously, from most likely a Chinese manufacturer. The Chinese electric car manufacturers are slowly taking over the world. I mean, this thing is really cute and everything, but tell me what you guys think. Do you prefer your cars to have gasoline or diesel engines, or do you like electric cars? Let me know in the comments below. And guys, I'm not joking. There literally is about 7 to 10 different Chinese electric car manufacturers here. So many of these brands I've never heard of, and they just happen to have some of the prettiest models here at the show. But they are very prolific here in Thailand trying to sell electric cars. VinFast is actually a Vietnamese electric car manufacturer that's just entered the Thailand market. But enough of the electric car shenanigans. Let's take a look at something really interesting, and that would be here, Tech Art. This is a German Porsche tuner. They're actually now a manufacturer, and they make some crazy Porsche models that you can get updated. The cars are quite expensive. I believe that the Turbo, the GT3S version, is over $2 million US. However, as I said, it's not only cars that are here. There's also tons of motorcycle manufacturers, and we've come to my favorite, and that would be Honda. As much as I love my Honda ADV 160, I think at some point I'm going to have to look to upgrade to a bigger bike. And this is the place where I wanted to come and take a look to see what the new options are. I think the ADV 750 is just too big. I mean, at this point, I might as well just get a full-size motorcycle, and that is why I am considering either the Honda Transalp, which is a 750, but more likely the Honda NX 500, which is a 500cc bike. It's got much more of an endurance look to it. It's smaller displacement than the Transalp 750, and as much as I love the Transalp look and style, I just don't need a bike this big. So I'm excited to check these out in about the next 6 months and see if I'm going to be upgrading from my ADV 160 to this model Honda. To me, the NX 500 is probably the perfect bike for riding through a country such as Thailand. I don't need all these extra bags, all these guards on the front. I wouldn't add all that. And I love this white color. But this bike, if I can get on it without tipping it, is definitely much more in tune for longer rides. It's very comfortable, very upright, bigger gas tank. I think this particular color, in fact, will be on my list if I end up purchasing a bigger motorbike here in Thailand. We still have to go see all the hypercars and supercars, but let's just take a quick pass at some of the other motor-powered items. We've got obviously jet skis, a quad, and down here we have boats. This is a motor show, so anything with an engine will be displayed here, including this selection of boats. I just can't get enough of these little Suzuki Jimnys. And now I've come to the damned styling booth, and they've got some great little Jimny styling kits that they make, including this. This is basically like a Defender D90 or a D110 from Land Rover. Even the badge on it looks like a Land Rover badge. It's the little D. So this is a styling kit that you can buy for your Jimny to make it look like this cute little Defender. And right next to it we have, which is what a Mercedes G-Wagon styling kit on this white little Jimny. You get different bumpers, fenders, and other styling cues that will make it look like a Mercedes G-Wagon. Look, even the name, this is called the little G15. However, if it was up to me, I'd go for the traditional little G styling here. This is the other little G traditional styling. The yellow, it's got more of the original G-Wagon look from the late mid-1970s. I kind of like this. It's simple, no nonsense. A lot of the manufacturers are having their unveilings today, and right now I'm at the BMW Motorrad booth, which is the motorcycles. As you can see, a lot of things are covered up, but this is one of their scooters. This electric scooter is really pretty wild. It looks like the Strom electric motorbike will run underwater. This is a very unique display to show that, yes, your bike will function in deep waters, which absolutely happens here during the monsoon season. It looks like everybody's having a lot of fun at the Majorette booth. These guys are setting up a car race. I'm going to go to the very end, set up, and we can see who's going to win. Boys will be boys. Men, we grow up to just be large children. I can personally attest to that. Having to navigate this sea of professional journalists here who are all here to cover this show. There's hundreds and hundreds of people here, and the show's not even open to the public yet, and it is jam-packed. I don't think Porsche brought out anything super interesting this year. Well, except that GT3 RS in the back. The GT3 RS is a wonderful powerhouse. The styling is a little bit too much for me. The bright yellow is just a little much. This right here This Porsche Mathny, I'm not sure what this is, some kind of a custom. However, it's such a beautiful understated car. Love the gold wheels on it. Personally, I prefer cars that don't scream, look at me. I like something that's kind of under the radar. I know I'm going to miss a lot of things at the show, but I'm glad that I looked over at the Mercedes booth because this, I believe, is the Vision 111. This is a car, again, that's throwing homage back to the Mercedes C111. And this is a show car, but look at this. It is very unique. The interior is very futuristic. It's probably powered by electric or hydrogen, even though this is just a static model. But what a sight to behold. I've been a longtime BMW fan and owner, and I came to the BMW stand to see one thing, and that is the M3 Touring. They are finally making an M3 Touring. I would absolutely love this car, except for the fact that it starts at 10 million baht, which I believe is $300,000 here in the country of Thailand. But the proportions on it, the ability to carry things, everything about this car to me is perfection. I still find the M2 to be a very strange shaped car. The proportions are just so off. Not a fan. Okay, let's go see all the hypercars and supercars in the Forum 4 building. This year they have added Hall 4, and this is where all the supercars are. So I definitely want to come in here and take a look. Wow. This is cool. We've got some really cool stuff here. We've got a McLaren, got a Ferrari, more Lamborghinis. Let's walk around and take a look at all the supercars in here. Love this green on this Aventador. I'm probably got it wrong. I'm not a supercar expert, but love this jade green. I was actually right. It is an Aventador, and we've got another Aventador over here, SVJ. This Bentley is a behemoth. I couldn't imagine driving this through the streets of Bangkok. Of course, if you own something like this, you would have a driver. You would not be driving yourself. As understated and beautiful as the McLaren 720S is with its soft lines, this is nuts. This is a McLaren Speedtail. I've actually seen this thing running around Bangkok. Guys, keep in mind, this is a $2.5 million hypercar, which here in Thailand is approximately 70 million Thai baht. And to have seen this on the streets of Bangkok was absolutely insane. Of course, the McLaren Speedtail gets its name from this elongated tail. This car is supposed to be able to hit 250 miles per hour. That is an insanely fast speed. Those of you that know your hypercars are going to laugh at me because I'm not 100% sure if this is the SF90 or which model these two cars are, but there's a whole slew of other Ferraris over here that I want to take a quick look at. This is more to my liking, Ferrari 308 GTS with the Targa top. If you ever watch the show Magnum PI, then you are very familiar with this car in red. But in general, this whole section over here, we've got Ferrari 348, another Ferrari 348, Ferrari 360, 355, 550. These are more of the classic Ferraris that I personally enjoy. I always have many favorite cars at this show, but this here, this is definitely one of my favorites. This is the Porsche 911 Dakar. This thing is gorgeous. I absolutely love the Rothmans colors, all-wheel drive, and man, I would absolutely love to flog this thing around Bangkok and beyond. Although a fully kitted out Brabus G-Wagon is not far from my choices. Man, this thing is really a tough looking vehicle. They were designed in the mid-70s, but Mercedes has kept updating them, and they are making them into one of the most luxurious SUVs that you can get anywhere in the world. I can't believe I almost skipped this. This is the new Lamborghini Countach, a reincarnation of the original LP5000 Countach. This thing is really beautiful. I believe they're all sold out, extremely expensive. It definitely pays homage to the original Countach. And I'm not a big Lamborghini guy, but you know what? This thing here, it really hits me in the right spots. It definitely looks like the original Countach without any of the big wings, any of the fanfare. Just a little understated. This is one of only 112 cars produced. Extremely ridiculous. I'll put the price of this vehicle on the screen, what it would cost outside of Thailand and what it would cost if you could get it here in Thailand. I promised you I was going to show you all of my favorite vehicles, and yes, I am strange, but right here, this Land Cruiser FJ45 long wheelbase diesel wagon is huge on my list. These are gorgeous. We never got the long wheelbase versions in the US. These are extremely popular and very expensive at this point. And right next to it, we have got this cute little Honda, this little QR Honda. I think it's a 50cc with an original Vespa right next to it. Both of these bikes are just really cute. Moving on to Volkswagens. Yes, a camper and this pickup. This is really cool. Again, extremely rare in the US. This is probably from the early to mid 80s, judging on the body style. This was called the Vanagon in America, and these things were really, really unique. Now, moving on to this yellow camper that's right next to it, it says Porsche Racing Service, and I'll be curious if this thing actually has a Porsche engine, because it is sporting Porsche wheels on it, and I've seen Porsche engines in these before, so I would really love to see the engine bay of this. And although I skipped it on the way in, check this out, man. This H1 Hummer. I can't believe anyone would drive this here in Thailand. It's got Thai plates. This thing is wide. I mean, it is almost 2 meters wide, and it is absolutely a massive, massive vehicle. Wow, so crazy. I mean, just look at the size of this thing. It is enormous. I'm 180 centimeters tall, which is 5'11". This thing is gigantic. If you like automotive content, check out my other automotive videos. Please make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll see you very soon in another episode.